سلام دوستان، به برنامه کارآفرینان خوش آمدید. برنامه تقدیمی رادیو ایران به شما شنوندگان خوب، برنامه غیر تبلیغاتی برای بالا بردن سطح آگاهی های شما و آشنا شدن با شخصیت هایی که در بیزینس موفق بودند و استفاده از تجربه های اونها. امروز میهمان ما آقای تاد جانسون هستند، رئیس و مدیر عامل اتاق بازرگانی بیولی هیلز. تاد در پنسیلوانیا بزرگ شده و در دانشگاه سلیپری راک تحصیل کرده. دارای لیسانس مدیریت تجاری و لیسانس مدیریت امور مالی است. ایشون سال 1986 به کالیفرنیا اومدن تا به رویای خودشون که بازی فوتبال به صورت حرفه‌ای بود جامعه عمل بپوشونن، که البته چنین اتفاقی نیفتاد و سرنوشت ایشون رو به سوی دیگری، راه کاملا متفاوتی کشوند که به بیزینس رستوران بود. بعد از کسب 10 سال تجربه مدیریت رستوران، ایشون جنرال منیجر رستوران لاریز د پرایم ریب در بیولی هیلز شدند و تا سال 2011 به این کار مشغول بودند. مدتی بعد ایشون با استفاده از 25 سال تجربه‌ای که در راه اداره رستوران به دست آورده بودن، تونستن کمک‌های بزرگی به این رستوران بکنن و باعث پیشرفت بیشتر اون بشن و اداره 3 شعبه از 4 شعبه رستوران رو به عهده بگیرن. آقای تاد جانسون همزمان با اتاق بازرگانی بیولی هیلز هم همکاری داشتن و سال 2003 به عضویت بورد این نهاد در اومدن. سال 2010 ایشون رئیس اتاق بازرگانی بیولی هیلز بودند. تا سال 2015 ایشون یا به عنوان مدیر بخش مالی یا رئیس کمیته رستورانداران خدمت می‌کردند، تا اینکه در این سال از ایشون خواسته شد به عنوان پرزیدنت و CEO اتاق بازرگانی بیولی هیلز با اون همکاری کنند که بزرگترین اتاق بازرگانی در لس آنجلس دوستان، با بیش از 820 عضو و با بودجه نزدیک به 1.5 میلیون دلار. تاد جانسون در ضمن یک مربی رسمی آموزش اسکیه و چند سال به این کار مشغول بوده. تجربه غواصی دارند ایشون. در ورزش جودو دارای کمربند سیاه هستند. کار کردن با بچه‌ها در زمینه ورزشی رو خیلی دوست دارند. سالها در روتاری کلاب فعال بودند و رئیس بورد LA کیچن و عضو بورد LEO پراجکت هستند که 2 بنیاد غیر انتفاعیه که در راه بهینه‌سازی لس آنجلس بزرگ فعالیت میکنند. Mr. Todd Johnson, welcome, and we are so happy to have you in our show.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. Could you tell us a little bit about your background? How did you start? And I just mentioned that you lived in Pennsylvania, most of your life.
My
right?
first part of my first half of my life, yes.
Yeah. And then what happened?
Well, I went to, as I heard you say, the school, Slippery Rock.
Yeah.
I went to school, and I really wanted to be a chef, but my father talked me out of it because he was...
Oh, so you wanted to be a chef.
I just had an interest in cooking.
Uh-huh.
And this was when cooking was not as famous or glamorous as it is now. I mean, the industry has changed completely.
Maybe especially for men.
Oh, absolutely.
Those days.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Not that you're old, but I mean.
No,
those days.
I'm older, so I'm experienced. So, but no, so he was smart in doing that. So I got a degree in finance and management, and because that was in all business management, and certainly numbers and finance. But I still ended up getting into the restaurant business, and I was passionate about helping people and just serving people, actually, and being, not subservient, but being a servant of people was something that came natural to me. And I think I was just raised that way. So, and I was good at making sure the staff related that same feeling to our guests, because my goal in the restaurant world, and even what I do now, was very simple. I made sure people left feeling better than when they came in.
Uh-huh.
And if they do, then they're going to talk about you and they're going to want to come back.
So beside wanting to be a professional football player, you like to be a chef also.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. I had an interest in I guess grilling actually more than anything, and grilling meats and things. But yeah, the football was, it was fortunate to go as far as it did, but it wasn't realistic to go to the pro level. And physically, I'm probably better off for it. So, but food is something that people need every day. So it's a question of where they're going to get it, whether it be a grocery store or go out to eat with family and friends. And so it was an industry that I always felt was it's always going to be around, has been around since the day we became alive. So
you looked for a job in restaurants at the beginning?
I got a bouncer job at a restaurant called Hula Hands years ago. And I was only in that position for about 2 weeks, and then they asked if I wanted to bartend. Okay. So I started bartending and did that for about a year and a half. And
it's a hard job.
It's a hard job. No? You're dealing with
you need a lot of information.
Well,
names,
you have to remember, and if you couldn't remember names, I always tried to remember people's drinks, what they were. So, but then you would drink. I mean, you would realize that guys are not the smartest when they drink. Yeah. And it was always an interesting element to me. And so, I was 22 years old, making a lot of money and having a ton of fun in California. But then I got into management, and the rest was history after that. I jumped around to 3 or 4 different companies before I got to Lowry's, and spent, as I said, almost 20 years with them, which was, they're an icon of the city. They have been they've been in Beverly Hills 81 years. They were one of the original restaurants on La Cienega, which was
still they are
still there.
How many branches do they have?
They have 5 prime ribs in the 4 prime ribs in the U.S., 4 other types of restaurants in the U.S., and then they also have, I think, 6 or 7 international Lowry's that are franchised.
So what's before we go to Chamber of Commerce and these things, what's the most important thing in having restaurant? What should you do to be successful? A lot of things.
There's so many things, but I think it starts with passion and really wanting to be and to deliver service and to deliver elegance and quality of food and serving people. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a general manager or a president of a company, you still need to have that mentality of what is it you need? What can I do to make it better?
I always ask myself, this restaurant, how do they know how much meat they need today to be defrosted or delivered? And if they don't use it, what's going to happen to that? How do they take care of these things to be always fresh and, taste good?
Well, you learn it. It's pars. You're coming up with pars, and you get pretty good at estimating how many people you're going to serve, and therefore you can. In the case of Lowry's, the prime rib that was left over was never much. It was only a couple ribs left over, and that would always used for well done meat the next day, because there's some people want meat well done. Most of the people come in the restaurant want it medium or medium rare, but nothing went to waste. In restaurants, the expense and the cost of goods and just staying open, restaurants have to are getting extremely creative on how they maintain their food and not have waste, and how do they reuse it and make it fresh and not. I mean, it's a tough business. And
the staff, they are allowed to eat there usually in restaurants?
Yeah. I think
they eat there.
Yes, they either get we served a family meal, but there's also some restaurants that'll let the staff buy half price menu items or have a staff meal. So yeah, absolutely. The good restaurants do
that. How much money do you think someone has to have to start a restaurant business today?
Oh, I think it depends. Yeah, I mean, multiple millions probably, and it's
Are you talking about Beverly Hills or
no? Because you open a restaurant, you have to be ready to pay all the operational costs probably for a year before you're making anything. Statistically, 89% of restaurants that open close within 12 months. And it goes up to 93% in 5 years. So 93%. So 7/10. Oh, 100 restaurants, 7 of them will make it.
You know, close to my house, there's a place that in last, I would say like 5-6 years, every year one restaurant comes, opens, and I'm sure they spend a lot of money for decoration, this, that. And after 1 year, I feel so sad. They leave and another restaurant comes. And sometimes I want to go tell them, don't open here, man. It looks like it doesn't work in this area.
Well, you know, and that actually a location can get a reputation. So unless you have a really big name that comes in and takes over a location that's been 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 times a restaurant, it's pretty tough to make it work. I mean, it's, you know, the average owner of a restaurant puts in his pocket at the end of it maybe a nickel for every dollar that comes in, and then he's taxed on that. So it's a very challenging industry. And
why did you decide to come? You're out of that business now.
Yeah,
you decided to come out because
well, at the time,
of the Chamber of Commerce, or you?
Yeah, it was a little better quality of life and a little more control over my my work and my time. I was flying
less headaches.
I was flying around the country to different restaurants at the time, so it made it a lot easier to stay put. And it was a decision, and it was also serving people in the sense we serve our businesses. And I know the city of Beverly Hills, and I'm fortunate to work there and know a lot. It's a small city. It's 35,000 people. And so everyone knows everyone, or everyone knows someone who knows you.
Right. And how did you get involved in Chamber of Commerce at the beginning?
Yeah, when I was the general manager at Lowry's, the owner was very big on us being involved in the community and giving back. So I had got involved with the chamber back in 2004, I think. And then became chairman of the board back in 2009, 2010. And which I was saying to you earlier, it was the same time, I think, as Jimmy Delshad, who was the first mayor in the country that's Iranian and an amazing man. Just a very good guy.
All of our listeners, they know Mr. Jimmy Delshad.
I'm sure they do.
The first Iranian mayor in USA and in Beverly Hills.
And he really did a good job. He was there for he had 2 terms and 8 years, and he and his wife are still running around doing things for others. So I was fortunate to be able to work with him during my year. But fast forward, when I had my year, I ended up having to terminate the guy that was the president and hire a new person. And we did. 4 years later go by, he gives notice, and I was ready to do a search again. But a couple of my board members said, well, you know, maybe you should do this. And I didn't really think of it, and I didn't know anything about nonprofit. I knew for-profit, and within a week, the board had voted me on, and that was just under 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago.
For those unfamiliar, what is a Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, it's a little bit of an unknown. I think people think of it as an old, crusty, old guy sitting around a table talking, and it's really not. There are 13 chambers just in the western side of Los Angeles, from Los Angeles to the ocean. There's 13 chambers, because I think you saw I was president of that organization for a couple years, and we're each trying to help the cities that we're in, and because we're in Beverly Hills, our chamber's goal is really to be that one-stop shop where someone can go to that has a question on needing help with a permit, or needing to speak with one of the council members, or needing to meet a broker to find out where they should go in the city, to understand some trends, and we can get facts and figures from the city. We have a real close partnership with our city, and are proud of that. And our goal is to really make business successful. Because if they're successful,
That's the goal.
Everyone wins: the city, the residents, and the businesses themselves.
And does all the businesses that they want to start, they come to Chamber of Commerce or no?
Well, some do. I met with.
They don't have to. It's
no,
not like,
by no means. And
yeah.
and definitely, I tell. There's some businesses I said, we're probably not the right company for you, or we're not the right organization,
Right.
because of what your expectations are and what we're able to deliver are not same. And it does us no good to have you join for a year and then quit saying, geez, I didn't get anything out of this, because I don't want that. So we're pretty clear on what it is we're able to deliver. What makes us different is our brand. You know, the name Beverly Hills is equated with luxury throughout the world, and probably known in almost every country when they've heard of the city, the name anyway. And it's experiential in Beverly Hills, and it's a walkable city, which in most of our cities in Southern California, we don't walk, and which is why our freeways are the way they are. Our city is capable. You can walk just about every corner of it. It's only 5 square miles. So it's really not that large.
So these are some of the unique things about the Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce.
What we also do is we do over 200 events a year. And we do everything from, 3 or 4 years ago, there was a program the city introduced called Bold, which is businesses open later days. And Beverly Hills had this reputation of closing its streets up at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. We have a lot of international travelers that come and visit in our hotels, our luxury hotels, and they go out to lunch at 5 o'clock at night, right. And then you're going out to dinner at 10 o'clock. They want to shop. So we put this, the mayor, Lily Bossy, really was the one that headed it, but the council really put time and effort and money into this, and it's the fourth year of it, and it's gotten much traction, where we do a summer Bold program, where we're open later days, and we have all types of entertainment down on the streets, and luxury, driving a Rolls Royce around, just nothing that you can go do just in any city. And then also during the holidays, obviously we have I think it's one of the more, it is one of the most beautiful cities decorated. It really is beautiful right now. And we have hundreds of thousands of people that come, millions of people that come every year. Over 6 million people come to Beverly Hills. So we're proud of that. And our organization really helps represent and get that word out through that program.
Where is your office located?
We are right on Little Santa Monica and Cannon. So we're actually right across kitty corner from the Wallace, the theater, and just a half a block away from the. So
you're close to the Beverly Hills sign that everybody comes and takes
right across
pictures.
street. I can see it from my rooftop. Yeah, it's very close.
Very nice. دوستان با آقای تاد جانسون صحبت میکنیم، رئیس و مدیر عامل اتاق بازرگانی بیولی هیلز. کمی آشنا میشیم، با خودشون آشنا شدیم. همونطور که من ابتدا توضیح دادم، در پنسیلوانیا ایام کودکی رو گذروندن، بعداً به کالیفرنیا آمدن، در کار رستورانداری بودند و بعد از اون هم در اتاق بازرگانی بیولی هیلز مشغول به همکاری شدند و انقدر این همکاری خوب بود و هی پیش رفتند که الان ریاست این اتاق بازرگانی بیولی هیلز رو عهدهدار هستند. برمیگردیم با ایشون در مورد این اتاق بازرگانی و فعالیت‌هاش بیشتر صحبت می‌کنیم.